make that just for me?
Absolutely.
Thanks.
And welcome to the Leafcast, our first-time reader show based on the epic fantasy series Wheel of Time by Robert Jordan. My name is Ryan, and joining me as always is my brother Dan.
Hello!
Hello, humans on all the spectrums. Today is a much-awaited show. We're covering chapters 39 through 42 of The Gathering Storm, and this is episode 185. As Dan, how excited are you?
This is a good chapter. These are 3 out of 4 of these chapters are very epic.
Yeah, a lot of things happen. This is the pure Schadenfreude chapters with Elida getting swept away.
Yeah, I want to get into that.
All right, well, speaking of which, let's bring in our first-time readers.
Bring him in.
And how do they live, Dan?
Happily ever after.
Unhappily ever after. You know, Ryan, I think we need to start calling you Shogun Morganfriend.
Yes.
You like that term? I think you've said that term at least 3 times during the last 12 shows.
Yeah, I mean, Brandon Sanders is coming in and cleaning the house. He's like, I've been hating these characters for so long, it's my turn to take a stab at him.
That's a good point.
Literally.
Hi guys, Happy New Year.
What's up,
Happy
Dan?
New Year.
Happy New Year. Let's bring it.
2025.
Let's bring it. Case Nice Tonight. She finally made it.
Yay.
I made it. Hello. Oh my God, there's a little mosquito in here. Ah! Hi, how are you? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. We're just talking about how excited we are to talk about these chapters.
I'm actually talking about how Ryan needs to stop using the term Schadenfreude or I'm going to slap him in the fucking mouth.
Schadenfreude.
Well, I mean, if you'd say
What
it
does
correctly,
that
maybe
mean?
you could correct me.
What's Schadenfreude?
Schadenfreude. It's more like Mr.
Shaggin Morganen.
Schagensafreudens?
Shaggin McFreud.
Schagensamorgens?
All right. Yes.
Shaggin'
Well, we have a hard out at 9:30. That's the goal. Everyone, hold us to it.
Well, but so happy Christmas, Happy New Year. Let's have 2025 be the year of the leaf. And let's everyone just be, you know what? Try your hardest to be nice.
A fucking Dorothy dress?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yes.
And look, the leaves are swirling all around me. There's no place like home. There's no place like I saw an old woman on a bike outside my window riding, just flying off.
Did it have the big front
no.
wheel and the tiny back wheel, Dan, and the seat's like 10 feet high?
Yeah.
Okay.
And a little dog too.
It's so funny how they didn't know how to make bikes back then. Big old front tires, little back tires. Come on, figure that out.
I know. I think it was an aesthetic, Ryan. They liked big things up top. Look at Abraham Lincoln's hat. They just liked big, tall things up front. So you sat on a big old wheel, and then behind you was a little tiny wheel.
You're reaching and you can't get to the pedals because the wheel's too big.
Yeah, and you ride by.
I'm taking off my shoes. I'm getting comfy, but I feel a little like Mr. Rogers. Just to not completely entirely change the topic.
You gotta
but
put
a
on your
little
tennis
bit
shoes when you
also.
walk in, then, Carrie.
I know, right? Change my jacket.
Why would you wear shoes when you're not wearing pants?
Right, Ryan, you're asking the important questions.
It's a good question, Ryan.
Yeah,
there we go.
Not,
this is a
the
weird
dumbest bike ever invented. Come on.
Actually, Ryan, come on. If you had this bike, you wouldn't ride this all the time.
All right, this is the bike for that couple. Dan, remember that Saturday Night Live bit where the couple who couldn't get away from each other, so they had the toilets next to each other?
Okay,
Yeah. Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah.
honestly though, like if he's riding that and she's riding that, isn't she pedaling like a hell of a lot faster because she's got the little wheel and he's got the big wheel? So she's just like, that's got to look really funny too. She's just like,
She's going,
pedal, 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 and he's like,
No, look at the crossbar. It's a connected gear system.
I
No,
know,
yeah, they
but
both
what-
got
how
one
does
big
that
wheel.
No, they're
work?
both pedaling at the same speed. Just
Chris
like
says-
more like a
Chris said-
tricycle?
Her
Like-
wheel is going to turn way faster.
Chris
I
says
don't
obviously a
understand.
connected gear system. It's obviously
I
a
don't
connected gear
understand,
system.
Josh. That makes
It's
no
obvious, right.
sense.
Engineering 101, Carissa.
Oh my god.
I was wondering how they would steer it, but it's obviously a connected gear system. So
Obviously.
there we go.
right?
Yeah.
So, don't ask that question.
There we go.
Oh, that's
so
funny. How do they steer? Oh no, they
That-
got a little thing in the front.
He's got a
The
handle.
dude's got a little thing by his knee.
Yeah, he's got handlebars in his hands.
Josh is impressed. If
Yeah,
they made it
it's-
at home by themselves, then that's
Riding that together is the fucking definition of true love.
That's
Uh-huh.
right.
because you're both imminently gonna die.
Apparently.
Yes.
I think it's right. So, Ryan,
We're gonna kill each other.
ladies, do you need a divided riding skirt in order to ride that bike? Put it back up, Ryan. Is that a divided skirt? I don't think so.
I
No.
don't think so. No, that's why she has the smaller wheel, I guess.
Yeah, and look how tight it is on her knee.
She does not look very pleased. Those lips are pursed. Hard as
Well,
fuck.
that was also the look back then, Josh. I'm sorry.
That
I'm
was
surprised you
the
don't know
like
this.
yeah that was like
Yeah,
the
that's called the look of
1890s
being a
version of the
woman while
duck
you're
face.
oppressed.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
That's
everyone was
oppression at its finest.
supremely unhappy.
Yeah.
They just didn't have enough stuff to put in their lips to make it duck faced like. But so they just scowled. Guys, let's
Saying
jump
resting
in.
bitch face comes from not having snake toxin to put in your lips.
No, resting bitch face comes from not having any autonomy over your own body. Hey-o!
Oh,
Anyway.
Yeah.
nice tie back.
Hey, why do you got to bring that up now? I'm working on it.
Sorry.
You know, we're only 13 days away from Armageddon, so
Oh,
Yeah, guys, soak it
Yeah,
up.
well, women are already in our
enjoy your
Armageddon.
freedom for the
What?
next 13
Okay.
days, ladies.
No, a toe rockin's gonna swoop in, take him away, put a sack on his head.
What? Oh no, Ryan, don't. We have trouble enough on YouTube.
We're demonetized already,
Yeah,
Brian.
go on.
We're
Right.
sorry, you
Yes.
too.
Yeah, we're just kidding.
What Carissa's putting in the screen right now.
I'm sorry.
Demonetize us, Carissa.
I'm sorry. I was
Let's-
reaching for something.
Let's jump into this,
Let's
guys.
move it.
It is chapter 39 through 42. Chapter 39 is a visit from Baron Sedai. This has what we have determined to be the Black Aja icon, and it is a direct continuation from the last chapter where Baron said the iconic line, by the way, that dress you are wearing is green. To say, wait a minute, she can lie. So at first, Egwin is trying to
Our first
justify.
Egwin? Did you just say that?
I said at first. At first.
I thought you said our first. I thought you meant to say our first section. And you said our first Egwin.
I meant
Oh,
at
yeah.
first. At first, Egwin is trying to justify it. She's like, "Well, what? You didn't use the oath rod? You must. Well, how'd you get around that?" And she's like, "Well." She's like, I never really trusted you. And she's like, well, because I am a Black Aja. She's like, fuck, I should probably scream, but I don't want to. They're going to beat me. They're going to get killed by her. So only I'll get killed by her. Fine. She's like, why don't you have a seat? No problem. Sit down. And she starts like spilling some tea. She's like, you did really well here. In fact, so well that some of my peers and associates and chums and cohorts and ne'er-do-wells don't really like it so much. Yeah, it says, she says, quote, I was afraid I'd come and find you still dawdling with your friends outside. Imagine my amazement at finding that you'd not only infiltrated Elida's regime, but had apparently turned half of the hall against her. You certainly riled some of my associates, I can tell you that. They are none too pleased.
None too pleased.
Kind of a threat. And she starts like spilling stuff, man. She's like, "Oh yeah, Tomas, yeah, he was a dark friend. He didn't really like it, so we just decided we were going to use our unique position here in as Black Aja to try to just figure out stuff, just write stuff down. I'm a brown. I want to learn." Guys, tell me what you think about Varen here. What she said, all the while she's slowly dying from the tea that she sipped. She ends up dying, and before that, she's like.
I mean, do you want to only know what we think of her up till this point, or like in general in this chapter?
I guess just whatever. Yeah, whatever. What do you think? She says, quote, "Few people have had the chance to create something that's useful and as wonderful as the book you hold." When she gives her a book with a cipher. Turns out to be kind of a difficult cipher, but a little one is too hard to memorize. It has instructions and shit on how to do it.
Okay, so who wants to start? Should I just start?
Go for it, Carrie. Go for it.
Okay, so this chapter was flippin' amazing. It's one of the best chapters in the whole freaking series so far.
Absolutely.
I will say this. I was kind of spoiled a while ago that Varen was a dark friend, but I had no flippin' idea that she was a double agent. And I thought that was brilliant when it got revealed to us. I was like, why does everybody in the fandom like Varen? Like, she's dark friend. Like, I don't understand it. And then now I'm like, oh crap, now I understand it. She talked about how the Chosen are made by selfishness. And this was like a big info drop chapter. And I think it might have been Noman Garden in chat. You said a while ago that this is one of the most frequently reread chapters that people refer to a lot because there's just so much to unpack in there. And obviously names of Black Aja sisters.
Right. Right. A bunch. It lists a bunch. Yeah, she does mention that the Dark One doesn't really favor loyalty or commitment as much as selfishness in picking these people.
Which is interesting, I thought too, right? Like, go ahead, Josh.
No, go ahead, Chris.
No, I mean, it's just like one of those things, like with the selfishness. Like, does that make these people more inclined to then do the selfish like thing, right? Like, obviously, I mean, it makes for like a weird person to be in combat, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. I'm sorry, I'm off my medication. I can't get a thought out. But anyway.
No. Thanks for the candor. No, I know what you're saying though. Like, why would he choose people that might not obey in like a battle situation or not follow orders? Or
I don't think that's what that means. I think if they're selfish, it means they will always do what's best for them.
Right.
And he has such a hold on them that it doesn't matter whether they care for each other as long as they follow him without thought or reason.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm trying to say, is that it's like that. And so that makes for a very weird, like, type of like, it's like they're all individually battling this situation in just their own very specific ways. And it's not like
it allows him to use them
against the light people or, humans or whatever. Or, dark friends against like all the people that are fighting for the world. Like we're for,
What it ensures is that he can use them against one another and use that playing them off of one another as a tool to manipulate them into doing what he wants.
Yeah.
Is this a winning strategy?
I don't know. That's why it's so bizarre. Like, everybody's just doing what is definitely like most selfish to their own mission. And I also thought it was really fascinating how Varen brought up that, like, I wonder if he knows that this little like loophole is in the system where I can die and still still do what I need to do, like still hold my oath, but like I can die and then also like give you the information that you need. So I wonder if he even is aware of that. She mentions.
I feel like that's a definite foreshadowing of Aaron being brought back, like we've seen the Forsaken brought back with Akora Subra.
Oh shit! All right, nice.
I mean, that loophole is there so that the Great Lord can leverage it by people revealing their malintentions against their will.
Yeah.
His will.
Yeah.
How many people do you think know that they are dying within an hour and take advantage of it like Varen does?
Well, not very many, because most people are selfish.
Yeah.
If everyone who is a dark friend is ultimately manipulated and used and motivated by selfish means, then not that many will do what is necessary for the greater good in order to allow this to be this back door to be used, right?
Right. This really was the most selfless act that could happen.
Talk
like
about
I texted everyone.
True hero of the story.
I laughed out loud for the first time within 4 chapters of this chapter, and I cried for the first time in the series in this chapter.
Yeah. Okay, so
when did you? I want to know when you cried too, Josh.
I didn't. No literal tears came out, but I was about to.
When though? When did it hit that chord for you?
Well, so I always predicted that Varen was a double agent. I do want to get that out there.
Yeah,
you did. Feel redeemed.
Totally did. Yeah.
I knew from the moment in the scene with Egwene, where she gave Egwene the hints and the dream necklace, and how she blindly went back into her studies, reading the dark language quote that she was obsessing over, that had come from the wall, the tower in the Stone of Terror where the Meridral had left the message.
Do you think that she had anything to do with that?
She was a double agent.
Do you think she had anything to do with that attack?
I don't think Varen ever allowed herself to be used in a way that led to the downfall of the good.
Let me challenge you with the quote.
Yep, I know you're going to read.
Redemption? I should think that wouldn't be easily earned. Light knows I've done enough to require a very special kind of redemption.
Yep.
But it was worth the cost, worth it indeed. Or perhaps that is simply what I must tell myself. So she's done some shit.
That mean? That just means that she's betrayed people or allowed things to happen. That doesn't mean that she created situations that allowed bad things to happen. It means
Let me also remind you, she was 2 seconds away from killing Cadsuane.
Sure. Because Cadsuane she didn't trust, but that was Varen's good intentions, not because of the Great Lord's order.
So you don't think Varen has killed anyone that we know of?
Like or just because she had to, like on the way to her mission,
or corrupted,
someone we know, like someone in the book, someone we've heard. Did she kill anyone?
Well, she must have. I mean, how else was she able to prove herself as being a good dark friend? I mean, that nobody else realized she was a double agent. I mean, she had done some bad shit.
Yeah, we've all been to prison.
Yeah, you got to go stick it. You got to go wet a cat.
all I know is after I read this, I'm like, crap, I want to go back and reread all the variant parts now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I've forgotten so much.
My intuition is that she minimized her negative impact. And I'm going to call that here.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, all right, you don't think it's like some World War II shit where you know they're going to attack the battleship, but you got to let them attack the battleship because you can't let them know that you know?
But that's the kind of thing that she would definitely have participated in.
But how do they know that you know that we know that you know?
Then, yeah. I don't know.
Who's on first?
I do have a Taishar. It's not great this early in this chapter. They were slim pickings, but the first Taishar of the year, quote, go down sweetly.
Shh. Sorry.
Crispin!
Nice. I know, seriously. That one's Freya. She's the loudest. The smallest.
Go down sweetly. How do you like it?
We did see her use compulsion on folks during the book. So we knew that she was a dark friend then too. That she knew compulsion, right? There's been so many tells on this. Like, I feel like it was pretty obvious. Like,
do you remember when she used compulsion, or like on whom? I do not recall.
Wasn't it like
Do you recall?
in a tent with some?
it was in a tent.
Woman? It was like outside of Kyrian.
It was during the Battle of
They went to
Dumais Wells.
Salidar.
It was during Dumais Wells, I think, right?
I think it was before Dwayne left to go to Salidar.
And she says, it was just a tiny bit. It's fine. Right? Doesn't she kind of admit to it and says,
Yeah, she does.
I did
She
do
does,
it, but
yeah.
it was just a little bit of compulsion.
Just a little compulsion.
I mean, not like real, like capital C.
Not like, for days on end. I didn't torture anybody. I just went inside their brain and controlled them for a little while.
Yep, exactly. This book, quote, contains, quote, names, locations, explanations, everything I learned about them, about the leaders among the Dark Friends, about the Black Aja, the prophecies they believe, the goals and motivations of the separate factions, along with the list at the back of every Black Aja sister I could identify.
Okay, so
go ahead.
I know we need to move on, but we've brought up the question of whether warders could be dark friends, which we know Tomas was a dark friend. And we've also brought up the question of whether one could be a dark friend before becoming an Aes Sedai or a warder or not. Varen seems to imply here that Tomas was already a dark friend before he became her warder.
Yes.
Really?
That's how I read it. I don't know if everyone else read it that way or not. That is what she seems to imply.
It says, Tomas, does he know what you've done? He was a dark friend himself, child, wanting a way out. Well, there really isn't a way out, not once the Great Lord has his claws in you, but there was a way to fight to make up a little for what you've done. I offered that chance to Tomas, and I believe he was quite grateful.
I believe that implies he was a dark friend before he became her warder. So that implies that you can't be a warder or an Aes Sedai first.
Dale, thank you.
Or
Dale,
does it?
Thank you.
Fuck, I don't actually know. I wonder if... So when a sister goes to the dark, does her warder always know? These are the questions that came up for me at the end of this chapter.
Right. Carissa,
And
can
if
you
so,
read this?
do they have to become a warder or a dark friend too? Do they have to be one before? Fuck,
Is it assumed that all the warders are dark friends too if the sister is
the dark friend? I think so, because they know what's going on in their head.
Yeah, I mean,
presumably, or if they're doing
unless they have a way to turn certain things off. I mean,
yeah, I wonder if like the oaths are different and include any sort of like blocking off your person.
Putting the sock on it, or
no, that is a very good question. So in this situation, we had talked about Tomas specifically. So Tomas has been identified. He is a dark friend, and he's spending his last hour with his family. They had their professional goodbye. It's been nice working with you. Nice working with you. Praise the Great Lord. Praise the Great Lord. Okay.
That was sweet how she said like, oh no, he's been spending the last hour with his family. It's like, oh.
Right. Yeah, it is a little sad.
Sweet.
But, good on him.
For the greater good.
Good on him.
But I don't think I'm gonna stand firm on the ground that Varen is not evil. I don't know if you, Kay, and
I
Carrie
agree with that completely. I think Wayne is like spot on. Yeah.
I think that she maybe misled some folks along the way, and by proxy was a part of some bad things that happened. But I think she kept herself out of evil. And I think actually not killing Cadswain sort of proves that in a way.
Yeah. She could have offed her anyways, you know.
Like, clearly, Varen put Rand's mission as the Dragon Reborn to overthrow the Dark One, the Great Lord, above whatever she had been told to do as a Black Aja. And I think it was her own volition to kill Catswain. Catswain may, in fact, be one of the forces of corruption, even without being a Black Aja.
Yeah.
She may be a problem for the pattern executing Rand's mission. It's so hard to there's so many layers to differentiate here, but
Yeah,
Dale points out a
if
good
we
point.
believe that Rand breaking the pattern and acting in the way that he is under his own volition in the state of mind he is the right quote unquote thing to do, then Catswain may actually be worse for the pattern than a Dark Friend in some ways.
Mhm.
And Varen analyzes that and makes a decision in that moment that she has the best interests of Rand's mission in mind as Rand understands it.
Yep.
And that is important to understand. That is important to Rock in terms of like the story, right?
Yeah.
If she killed Catswain with the Dark One, no.
Good question.
Oh, huh.
Well, he's the Lord of the Grave.
I would think he would know. Yeah, I would
mean,
think
that's a good
he
point,
would.
Dan.
His
of
list
all
suddenly
people,
goes.
like
"Boop."
he would know.
Okay, so I have a
You've
few
got
thoughts
mail.
really quick.
I am on this, baby.
So right before we got to this part, Varen was with Matt, and
Yeah.
she gave him a letter. We still don't know what the contents of that letter
Are.
is yet, but
Correct.
did she know she wasn't going to come back? What was the big trigger that made Varen say, "Okay, this is my last hour. I have to die now"? Like, did she have to die? Like, what?
I think
is
giving
happening at
Matt the letter
that
was a part of
moment?
it.
Well, the only way
The
she could get
moment-
the information to Egwene to do the things that need to be done, like to give her knowledge
Yeah.
to anybody to where it could actually be followed through with in a way that is productive for the ultimate end, like game that like she had to die for that to happen. So she didn't want to die, but she had to die for
So-
that to happen.
But she had to die
Is
for the
there-
information not to make it back to the Great Lord.
Right.
Was the
If- for
time
her to not break her oath.
Like, did she
I-
know that the tower was going to be overtaken by the Shan-Chan? Like,
Oh.
I mean, it seems like the timing was
I
very.
think she
specific.
trusted Egwene's dreams more than anyone else in the White Tower did.
Mm,
Oh, good point.
yeah.
And I mean, she knew about that from Egwene.
Like, and I just
Yeah.
want to remind everyone, she, what was it? Matt noticed several scrolls, in a bag before.
Several letters. Mhm.
Several letters.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, rolled up with her emblem. So, you can assume there's more than just Egwene and Matt.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I would assume so.
So she planned this
There's like
out.
directions for lots of people.
Yeah, no, that's a very good question. Why now?
Mm.
So it says here, I'll read it says, quote, "I will admit that the poison was a backup plan," Varen said. "I am not eager for death. There are still things I need to do. Fortunately, I have set several of them in motion to be seen to in case I do not return. Regardless, my first plan was to find the Oath Rod, but it appears that went missing." So, and she's like, "Yeah,
It does
my friends
imply
are
that
playing with it."
whatever is in the letter was a part of her backup plans, right? That Matt has.
It does not.
And
What?
finding Matt was a prerequisite then for her to be able to execute this part of her plan.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Fascinating. All right.
yeah,
Wait,
yeah,
real
yeah.
quick. Lifeline of Fool. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
My
Let-
goodness.
LBF.
Thank you.
Okay, so it goes, Varen, let them know I'm brown. Egwene, you're not brown, you're white. Varen, huh? By the way, Varen was a Black Aja for 70 years? That's a lot of pressure for Egwene to fulfill the redemption. Yeah, 70 years of,
Yeah.
like,
Said, yeah. Although the word black may brand my name forever, my soul is brown. Tell them, I
Yeah.
will, Varen. But your soul is not brown. I can see it. Her eyes fluttered open, meeting Egwene's, a frown creasing her forehead. Your soul is of a pure white, Varen. Egwin said softly.
I loved this
like
part.
the light itself.
Yeah, that was.
Baron
Was this the
smiled
part that you almost
and Rice
cried at,
was.
Josh?
Might have been. It's been so long since I read this, I don't remember. But
Yeah, I was re-listening to it again today, and I was like, oh, I wonder which part.
You know, it's that very line that I have my next Taishar quote. Came first and swiftly.
Yes.
Came first and swiftly. Yeah.
you're a bad man.
Only you in the most intense moment of the series would be like,
Yep. Come on. He came first.
All right, Joe, you ready to come in? Bad boy Joe.
Bring
All
him.
right. Let's bring him in. Oh, Joe.
So yeah, Dale, you had made a good point earlier that Varen does not seem to want to die. She had kind of told Matt, she's like, yeah, I'm hoping to be back. I'm hoping I'm going to be back. If I'm not back, that's plan B. So
I liked what MR how whoa.
Wait.
I like
Hey,
these too. Yeah.
What is
Your
going
lighting's so
on?
nice. You look great, Kay.
I don't know.
A little
We
earlier.
figured this out. I feel like
I
we
thought
figured
I did, but now it's like messing with me, man. It's messing with me.
No, I loved what MR said though about Varen is like she's just a true brown, like knowledge first, and because that's totally what we
Oh my gosh, Ryan.
got from her,
We're working on
in this
No,
chapter. It's like
You're
knowledge
beautiful.
was so important. Anyways,
There we go.
okay, never mind. Nobody's listening to me anymore.
No, it is, and yeah, and the Browns.
We're
She
listening
says
to you, Craig.
the
What are you talking about?
she more or less
no.
says that the goal of the
Being a
Brown
baby.
sister is to leave something memorable, something that means something. Like, and that, you assume that's a book, that's some sort of study, some sort of like academic thing. But so yeah, this is. But I guess Browns are like the journalists. They're the investigative authors. They're the
They're like historians.
Yeah.
They, and they like leave traces of information, and then they make sure that everybody's like as informed as possible. And they research everything. It's amazing. I love Varen, and of course this chapter was just like I've always loved her, but then yeah, this was amazing. This was so great. It was such a great beginning to these chapters.
I
It's
know.
really,
But
a nice
coming
way to
from,
come back from vacation.
I mean, weren't you upset as a dark friend yourself to find out that she was double agent? She could have, like, some of your sisters and brothers could have been implicated with her actions.
My
Working
goodness.
for Rand?
No, not really. I just love her.
Yeah.
She can do no wrong. Josh, were you pissed? Oh wait, he's not here. Where'd he go? Oh,
Where's Josh?
Like,
So
how
I
the
guess my
sweet-
question
Yeah.
is,
Go on.
what's going to happen when others realize that she's gone? Like, is anything going to happen on the Black Badger side, or, like, are they going to be like, what happened? Why is she dead? Like, I don't know.
Oh,
Like,
I
I'm
think
curious.
Josh is right. Like I think that just by way of like the dark one, knowing that she died and like finding out that she did this, I think he'll be like, nope, you're coming back, bitch. Like get back in the game and do whatever he needs to with her. And she might come back as like one of the, what are those things called? The ones that come
Forsaken?
back. Yeah, the initial, yes, the
A
best.
chosen?
The
She
You guys
wakes up
call-
at Hinderstap.
Okay, so it's like dark
shit.
friend, and then they die, and then they become a Forsaken. So, right?
Well, I think in order to be a Forsaken, you have to be really selfish. And I don't think she's selfish.
I don't know. Maybe it'll, yeah,
Or is her pursuit of knowledge inherently selfish?
yeah.
And she could dress that pig up, put a bow on that pig, but like her
I
thirst for
like
knowledge,
it,
right? Like,
yeah.
knowledge got us a nuclear bomb.
Ryan, when you said put a bow on that pig, it reminded me that Paris Hilton used to have a little tiny pig that she carried
bow?
around with her. Yeah, it had a
Yeah,
little
yeah.
bow on it. I think it's a teacup pig, a teapot,
I want one.
kettle,
Oh my
kettle
gosh,
pig.
me too. But
I
yeah.
want one. But
yeah, you do. Huh?
don't let Josh around your teacup pig. He'll fillet
he'll
that
make
You'll be
pig
having bacon the next morning.
and make a delicacy.
It'll be the best meal you've ever had, but it'll come at the cost of your pig.
Yeah.
The next
So-
morning, I'll just be like, "Oh, that was your pig."
Yeah.
Well, that was Wilbur.
Oh,
Are you
my-
enjoying what you're eating?
oh, that was a pet?
That
I
was
just saw
on
him
my,
running around the backyard. Thought I'd just fucking lop his head off. And...
on my homemade Blackstone.
Oh, that scene
You
from
own
War of
a
the
baby
Roses
pig on
was
homemade Blackstone.
screaming back.
Oh, you never had it. Unless you have it.
Pate.
So, yeah, she dies. Death comes fast and swiftly. First and I don't know. She died. Egwin is going through the book. All the names. So many names. We find out that Catswain is not... she didn't say that there was Catswain. Also, no Ramonda or Lelaine. Elida is not black. But a lot of her fucking
Okay.
friends are.
I want
Go
to
ahead.
say when she got to the part where she was reading about Shuriam, because I know we
Mhm.
recently got revealed that she was officially a Dark Friend. I was like, yes, she mentions the part where Shuriam, was she the one that sent that gray man back? I'm like, yes, back in book 3. That's
Right.
when I realized she was a Dark Friend. Yes, Agrain, you're on the same page as me.
Awesome. Yep.
Right. Nicholas shows up with food and she's like, yeah, I'm supposed to ask if you can trust that dead person. She's like, yep, I can. Don't worry about it. And then in comes Maidani. Maidani is like, hey, there's a dead Baron. She's like, I know, right?
And
Dude,
this,
what
okay.
was she doing?
And
Why
then
was she
she's
doing
like,
that? Was so weird.
she's pretty much like, hey, Maidani, I need you to ditch this body for me.
Yeah, I know.
I'm going full Tony Soprano. Hey,
I was
hey,
gonna say Sopranos, yeah.
hey, dispose of this, would you? And then so she makes a gateway and just like, and
Speaking
she's
of
like, yeah,
pigs.
that's a bummer. It's a real bummer. Varen deserves better, but can you drag her out of here? So she just kind of like takes her with air and.
Yeah,
No,
but
no,
not
wait.
before she weakened at Bernie's her body to make her look like she's still alive. Okay, like come on,
We
come
never
on, Egwene,
Oh,
what are you doing?
But I laugh.
Hey,
for,
Bernie.
I did like trying that right
Dude.
after the.
dude,
the
she told me
chapter.
that. I was laughing for like 10 minutes. I couldn't get some. She's like, Weekend at
It's-
Bernie's. is
it
such
says,
a-
quote-
Blockbuster flashbacks, Ryan.
Yeah.
Here's what she says, quote, Egwin nodded. Go then, pass on my message. Alviarin must be taken. She glanced at Varen's body. I'm afraid I'll have to ask you to take her with you as well. It will be better if she vanishes as opposed to me having to explain her death in my room. But use a gateway, Egwin said. Skim if you don't know this area well enough. She's like, okay. She's like, we have something else first. And then, like, something big. She comes in, like, someone comes in. What's going on? Oh, okay, normal weaves. Okay, cool. And then later it says, weaves of air moved Varen's body in through the opening, and Egwin watched her go with a pang of regret. The woman had deserved better. And yet, she's like, hey, just take her with you, would you?
Let's go.
How about this?
And
So,
then,
yeah, she,
go ahead.
no, she put the, like LBF, she put
Yeah,
the
yeah.
plate up to her mouth
Oh yeah,
because she still didn't know if she was still messing with her.
It says right after, it says she lay down on her bed trying not to think of the body that had occupied it previously. So she's still like a girl who's like, ew, gross, yuck. Get rid of that body, take her with you, ew.
It reminds me of when I told my son that many of the houses in Florida have had people die in them. He was like, his eyes just went. You know, like,
Oh no!
I'm like, yeah, someone probably died in our house at some point.
why would you
All
tell him
right.
that, Josh?
I know. Next day, the school principal's like,
Yeah,
we
I
gotta
mean,
talk.
like, I don't hide shit from my kids. Come on.
You know, yeah. Oh, you show them the dead bodies
yeah,
over the house,
probably people
Josh?
died
Yeah,
in
I
his house.
would
Yeah,
if there
yeah,
was
it's
one,
not
Ryan,
real.
but
Gosh.
come over and I'll take care of it.
Yeah, you know, I'm not going to get killed and put under your floorboards.
And
Come
then
on.
when they
Oh
die,
my
they
God.
go to the cold, deep void where we all go. Good night, son.
Yeah.
We're all made from stardust. and
There's
stardust
no
here.
heaven or hell. There's nothing that happens
There's
afterwards.
nothing.
You just turn into dust.
Yeah.
There's
It's-
nothingness.
It's called
Yeah, it's-
stardust.
Yeah,
Good night, darling.
Santa's not real.
And Santa's not real.
Santa's not real.
Bye.
And I throw out your teeth when they fall out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those bitches
Who
go
wants
down the
that?
toilet.
No one wants that shit.
Okay.
I throw them away. And then suddenly, boom, boom, boom. Tower's under attack, guys. Tower
Yeah,
is
Red
under
Alert.
Wait,
attack.
okay, hold up. You gotta read that last line in the chapter.
Yeah, please.
And she
She
couldn't
said-
channel enough power to light a candle, let
Yeah.
alone fight back.
Oh my god. So
Right. So she was all dosed with her fork root, her daily fork root.
Daily forward.
Super dosed.
Yeah, so
You-
at this point, I forgot that she, got the Terran Grail and figured out leaking. I was like, every time she took a fork root, I was thinking, oh no, they're going to get attacked.
I thought this was a spoiler-free show, guys. Here we are
Santa's not
saying
real.
Santa's not real. Easter Bunny.
That's hilarious.
Oh, funny.
That's really funny.
I hope
Yeah.
kids are not watching.
What else
I
in
know,
this chapter?
seriously.
She quickly talked to Swan in the dream world and said, I need you to look at Shuriam and is it Mora? Somebody? Please watch them. They're Black Aja. I don't have time to explain. Just keep an eye on them.
Yeah.
And then she got yanked out. So it's
This-
like, oh my god.
And she was like, "What the
Oh.
fuck?"
Yeah.
And then didn't come back. Sharon was just, or Swan was just kind of sitting around for a while. She's like, "Oh, she'll be back."
Those were
Back.
excellent sound effects, Dan. What the fuck?
She'll be back.
Yes, Teleron Riyadh winked away. And it was
Mora,
Yumiko.
isn't that woman from that show you like? Carissa?
Oh, what? Oh, Moira
one with-
Rose.
Yeah, the one with the
Schitt's
wig.
Creek. I love Schitt's Creek. You know, Schitt's Creek, people.
Hey, you mean Catherine
Everybody
O'Hara?
knows Schitt's Creek. Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. The queen of comedy,
My favorite line that she ever said was, "She's like,
Canadian comedy.
I can tell you're a smart cookie because you dress like a scholar and smell like a macaroon." Macaroon. I didn't roll the R's well enough. Macaroon. So yeah, the tower's under attack. She's like, "Oh, and I can't channel. Let's go. Let's go." And she's like, the Shanchan had finally attacked the White Tower just as Edwin had dreamed. Why didn't they take me seriously?
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm always
Right.
picked last.
I knew it.
I told you so.
Anything else
She's
in this
just running
chapter?
around. I told you so. I told you.
Yeah, you remember I did dream this.
Honestly, this was so many times that it was referenced. Like, and Egwin, she did dream that this was gonna happen. She's like, "Yep, I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. Dreamt it. Knew it." Anyways, it was kind of
Yeah.
a lot. I was like, "Yeah, we know. We know.
Yes.
We know. You knew first. You saw it coming.
You don't need to pull a Josh on us and remind everyone how fucking right you are.
20 times. How many times you predicted this? So many times.
Did Egret pull a Josh?
A little bit.
I knew it. I predicted it. I saw it coming, and here it is. It's
No wonder I dislike Egwin so much. It's that self-hatred. Self-loathing.
Projections.
So much like you.
And
Yeah.
Josh is all, "You're gonna have to call me mother while we're doing this."
Yes, mothers.
Sorry.
Do you understand?
I will refer to no one but my daughter for the rest of the show.
That's awesome. Well, let's jump to the next chapter. The next chapter is Swan. Swan is correct, Carrie. She had just been talking to Gwen. Was very worried.
Yeah.
She's like, "Oh, this is bad." She gets up. She's about to go. Gareth Bryn stands up in his small clothes.
Just like, okay, all right. So how small are these clothes?
You know what happens
he's
when you're
clearly got a
mid-sleep?
boner going on.
Yeah, clearly.
His pants are clearly like this.
Honestly.
Clearly.
Yeah.
No, really, because listen, he simply sheathed his
Go on.
sword, then proceeded to put on a pair of trousers and a shirt. Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She had to keep
she's-
herself from staring at his muscled body.
Yeah, exactly. He's like, what? Oh my god, I'm so fucking hot.
What's the
Swan,
music?
what's going on?
Shame I gotta get dressed.
Let me sheath my sword.
He's all. She wakes up. He's all.
Shame, I've
Just
got to
sheathed
get
my sword real fast and put on these pants, regrettably.
Swan, why'd you wake up so fast?
It's a real bummer, but I guess
That's a real footlong, Dan.
What, do you always sleep with your sword unsheathed?
Right?
Gareth Bryn does.
Mother? Oh, wait, that's really
no
fucking
wonder,
Right.
creepy.
no wonder Dwayne is in danger.
Guys, chat's been asking for it.
There's the Bella.
Oh, God.
candle. I love
Nice.
Ah.
The candle that will never be lit.
it. So suddenly this guy comes in. I have no idea how to pronounce this. How do you guys pronounce this?
Pronounce this.
Tijds.
What page is it on?
Kids.
It's on page 620.
Something
I'm sorry,
chids?
619.
Tids. Tids.
Teabs.
Tids. It's a lot of consonants together.
It's a lot of
Tijds. Tijd.
Tid?
Tids.
Take this.
Tids.
Clearly.
Take this.
Tits.
Take. Yeah.
Tits. Anyways, that's the name of the guy. He's like, hey, Lord Brian. He's like, yeah, tits. Talk to me, tits.
Prejudice.
Tajidis.
Talk to
Jizz. Jizz.
Really? There's jizz?
Yes, there we go.
There's three?
What
You're
is the color of
suggesting
my hand?
there's three syllables? Tajidis?
It's a very bizarre.
Stupid name.
Titty
they're like,
jizzies.
titty jizz. There's like,
Name.
there's like, hey, I reckon there's something going on at the White Tower there, brother. He's like, all right, bring me info.
Obviously,
And they're like, all right, Shanshin, they're attacking, but there's not a ground attack. All right. Swan's like, we gotta go. Garrett's like, you promised. And she's like, well, yeah, but you know me, I break promises. Blah.
Nah.
He's like, I'm not gonna be a party to this. And she's like, well, fuck you. I'll go talk to someone who will, which is probably gonna be our boy Gowan. But in the meantime, it jumps
Must
to
have been
Egwin.
desperate.
Egwin's like, boom, back to Egwin. Nikolai! She's like, hey, control yourself. It's not the end of the world yet. Not Tarmogeddon, like literally the end of the world. It's just the Shanshin. They're just attacking. And so she's like, it's a raid. They're just trying to capture people. I don't want my people captured. She's like, I'm not going to go back. No, she gets like PTSD a little bit. And she wants to run away. And like, to her credit, she stays. It says she wouldn't go back. She wouldn't let them leash her again. She had to run. She had to hide, flee, escape. She says, no.
No.
Here's the line. Nicholas says, oh, light, they're coming. Tashar. She says, let them come. Egwin roared, opening herself to the source. Blessedly, enough time had passed to dull the fork root slightly, and there was able to grasp a faint trickle of the power. It was tiny, perhaps the least amount of the power she'd ever channeled. She wouldn't be able to weave a tongue of air or shift a piece of paper, but it would be enough. It had to be. We will fight! And Nicola's like, let's do it. She's like, stand, Nicola. You're an initiate of the tower, not a frightened milkmaid. I will protect you, I promise. Then the hallway was filled with girls. Girls.
Yeah.
Novices
all running
all
around in
clumped
their
together.
shifts. Oh no! Oh no!
They're like, oh, the Amerlin, she's here to save us. She's like, come with me, girls. We're going to battle. She teaches them how to link. I'll link up. It's kind of hard. She's like, all right, listen to me. I'm gonna teach you something really cool, and then I'm gonna teach you how to gateway. But you can't tell anyone these things. But here, let's link. They figure that out. Learn gateways. Boom. There's Egwin. Egwin has some power now. All right. Is this a Taishar quote? There was a special skill to open oneself to a circle.
Oh yeah. I mean a circle. Yeah. I mean,
feel like you
yeah.
watched too many dirty movies, Brother Dan. But okay.
We are raised on Porkies.
How about
What kind of circle?
Sphincter.
You know,
Thanks for saying
A
what?
jerk?
The sphincter's
Isn't
in a
it-
circle.
isn't it weird that Cheerios? It was like the 15th try.
I'm sorry,
at it.
what?
Yeah. The sphincter, the Cheerios, the sphincter. Of
Isn't it
cereal.
weird that Cheerios?
It's the same. It's
Just immediate.
all right.
Isn't it weird that Cheerios? You guys,
So they get a gateway. They get this. She whips out. They go to a storeroom. She's like, not this, not this. Ah, yes. Quote, sliding a fluted white wand as long as her forearm off. Tashar.
Oh my god.
Pretty good.
An awesome, almost overwhelming torrent of power flooded through her. She's like, fuck yeah. Tower won't fall while she's the Amerlin. Back to Swan. Swan's like, Gawain, hey, Tarvalon's under attack. You want to go get your girlfriend? He's like, do I ever?
Do I? Shucks
You-
and doodles. I'm gonna go get her right now.
You
That's
bet!
the links.
And how?
I'll be right back, Paul.
They're like, but gosh, it's so hard to get in there. Like, oh, Sharon got out through like a special hidden gate. We're gonna go in this special hidden gate. He's like, hot dog.
hot dog.
Taishar, quote, I'll come, he said, hand gripping. All right,
Pretty
good.
good.
Gareth Brand is still like, this is dumb. He's like,
What
he's
about her oath?
He's like, why don't you just come with me? He's like, all right, fine. But there's two conditions. First, you gotta bond me as a warder. She's like,
Aww. That
rad.
was a nice
Boom,
one.
done. He's like, ooh, I can hear the wind. I can taste colors.
Damn. Shot you to attack the tower and Egwin gets a dildo.
Yeah. Yeah. About the size of her forearm.
Not wrong. Not wrong.
She's like, I'm going out in style.
Ryan, I know we played one earlier, but we do have an appropriate term. Bring out the horse, because, quote, she turned Gawain riding a black gelding approached. Another horse trotted behind him, a shaggy brown mare. Bella! Swanee.
I'm sorry, it's mandatory. It's a reflex.
Nice.
I
There
get
we
so
go.
excited when I read Bella in the story.
Well,
Like-
there it is.
Has anybody tracked, like, in the community? Has anyone like tracked the whereabouts of Bella throughout the stories? Because how is
I
Bella
always
here
wonder
right
that
now?
because I'm like, where does she go? And then she somehow gets back. And
There's got to be a
Source.
Bella watch somewhere.
It's Egwin source.
Are you guys not in charge of the Bella Locks?
Bellapalooza?
If anyone's in charge of a Bella log, I feel like it's you guys.
The Bella log? All right.
So Swan's like, done. I bonded you. What's next? He's like, I'll tell you later. And she's like, well, that sucks. That sucks. And he's like, I know, but take it or leave it. And she's like, I kind of love you. But no, she doesn't say that. But she feels, she feels things through the bond.
Including his boner.
It feels his boner. She says, I can sense your emotions now. For instance, I could tell boner. He's like, fine, I'll bring just me and 100 of my best friends, and we'll sneak in. They're like, cool. And then it jumps to Adalorna. Adalorna is in the midst of battle. She's like, green Aja my titty. We suck. It says what?
Every time you say the name Adalorna, I think someone's named Lorna, and you're just being like, Adalorna.
You know, you have this, then you Adalorna.
So stupid.
So stupid. Thank you, Joe, for confirming that.
Jeez,
Quote,
that's comic gold, dude.
Quote, Adalorna felt ashamed.
Yeah.
The battle Aja,
stupid.
indeed.
That was really bad.
She turns around and there's some Shanshit, and they try to shield her. She yelps despite herself. Adalorna yelped despite herself, dashing away as fast as her little feet could carry her. But then a shield shoved between her and the source, this time locking into place. She's told that her name is going to be Sivi. And then suddenly, Gregana, the one who captured her, blows up. The collar gets knocked off her, and then Gregana gets blown up. And she looks, and I'll read it, the whole thing. It's great. Quote, Adalorna turned hesitantly. A woman in white stood atop the rubble a short distance away, a massive halo of power surrounding her. Her arm outstretched toward the fleeing soldiers, her eyes intense. The woman stood like vengeance itself, the power of Saidar like a storm around her. The very air seemed to light, and her brown hair blew in the wind from the open gap in the wall beside them. Egwin Alvir.
Yes!
Egwin's like, quickly, to me! Jump in my circle! I'm in control!
And then it's just target practice.
I got one more
Basically,
tie for this. Quote, Chanel and Clara, watch this hole.
What?
Chanel and Clara,
Super makes
watch
sense.
this hole.
Fuck, dude. All right.
Chanel and Clara, watch this hole.
Damn, all right. You already got it.
I'm trying to...
Yeah, no, there's gonna be locked in one. You can't force it.
Okay. No,
I'm trying to make it work, Dan.
I was trying to knead it into place.
Need it.
We're like kicking a dead horse.
Quote,
You mean Bella?
I am in command until this threat passes. You will call me Mother. Give me penance later if you must, but for now my authority must be unquestioned. Is that clear? Yes, Mother, Adalorna found herself saying, shocked.
I think Josh says that yes, Mother is a drinking obligation, right?
Yes, Mother. Yes,
For
Mother.
now.
You will call me Mother.
You will call me Mother.
Was this Tavern shit?
Sure seems like it.
Yeah.
She found herself saying it and then
Absolutely.
was shocked.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And then she ends up saying that like she didn't expect to be this kind of like just swung along with like these situations that keep happening, and it doesn't feel like a person in power, or like a, what does she say? Something like it doesn't feel like that's how the Amerlin should be when she's talking about that. Anyways,
Yeah.
we'll get there, I'm sure. It's fine. I'll circle back when we get there.
Adelorna's like, hey, it's pretty rad that you didn't leave. And she says, if I left, it wouldn't have been fleeing you, Adelorna. It would have been abandoning you. I am the Armland seat. My place is here. I'm sure that you've heard that I dreamed this very attack.
Bom, bom, bom.
Is that how she said it?
Uh-huh.
I'm sure
No
that you've
shit.
heard.
No shit, Egwene. What? Did you
I dreamed the same
wait?
attack.
Can you
Hey,
Tell
can
us-
you just remind
tell
me
the story again?
remind me how I got it right?
Yeah, remind me how right I am.
Hey,
Yeah.
hey, did someone we know dream this? Oh yeah, that was me.
Hey, who's got two thumbs and dreams dreamt this?
Not so humble, brother.
Yeah. Oh, is that
Oh shit!
Yep.
Woo! That was
Yep.
amazing!
Whoa!
That's for
I
you, my
love
boy.
it.
Oh, I
That was
love
the
it.
best music ever. I love it. I feel like we should have him in like a lowrider car going across the screen too,
I'll work on that
Like-
next.
with the back end just bouncing really hard.
I did get kind of sad considering if Nynaeve and Egwene are not Ta'veren, or if they are, there's interpretations that make me sad for the reasons why, no matter what. We don't have to get into this now. We can circle back on it. But this is another
that
like
again,
gender roles
Josh.
thing that I think is kind of critical to like analyze from the author's point of view.
Uh-huh.
And I mean, in short, basically, one could say that the girls are just badasses, and therefore it empowers them more to not be Ta'veren to accomplish the things that they're doing.
Uh-huh.
Or one could say that only because Rand and Perrin and Matt are doing the things that they are, and their Ta'verenness, are the girls put in a position, the women put in a position that they can execute the things that they do, and therefore are dependent on the Ta'verenness of the men in order to be in the places they need to be to do the things that they do.
Oh, yeah, but also conversely,
Holy
wouldn't that negate the positive things that the men do as Ta'verens?
Why?
Like, wouldn't it go both ways?
No. Why would it go both ways?
Well, I do. I just thought
Explain.
everyone else did. Well, I mean, like it's a converse. Like in one aspect, if the women are not just badass, and it's the Ta'veren that's making everyone kind of respond to them in the way they do, then that like negates them being badass. But does that not do the same for the boys?
It does. Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, I don't. Yes, their Ta'verenness makes them less powerful in a sense, because the pattern is warping the world around them so that they can achieve what they're doing. But I think that it's clear that their free will allows them to make decisions that contradict potentially their Ta'verenness, and that's what allows them to steer this turning of the wheel to go a different way.
I wouldn't have asked if Adelorna didn't find herself saying it and was shocked at it coming from her face. That's the only reason I bring it up.
I'd love to believe that they are Ta'veren, but we've never seen anything indicating that they are, which makes me think that only the boys are Ta'veren. And therefore that leads me to think that
Really?
without their Ta'verenness, if Rand, Perrin, and Matt were not doing what they did, would Egwene have the opportunity to be the Amerlin? I think the answer is no.
No, but
And
do
that
you
means
think
that the women's success is dependent. I don't agree with this. I'm just saying as a literary interpretation.
No, I hear you. Yeah, and I love this
Honestly,
discussion.
sincerely, without my own value system getting in the way. That's how I see it.
Let me ask another question. Swan, when we first meet her, when she has all of her powers, right? She's
Right.
Amerlin.
Right.
She has the talent to be able to see if someone is Taveran. She lost the ability to channel, and it was restored. And I do not know if we have heard this talent resurfacing since. Would Swan be able to see her glow if she is Taveran?
I
She's
think
not
so.
there.
As would Elida, right? Elida saw Rand on the fucking wall and noticed it, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So that's what you think that they were seeing is Taveranness, and
Well, we
so
know that's true with Elida.
the guys are the only ones that can be Taveran, and the women are not Taveran.
I mean, that's what a direct literary interpretation without letting my own feelings get in the way seems to be saying.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if that is the case, which is something that I mean, that's like a new concept for me to wrap my head around then. Like, okay, well, if the women are not Taveran and the men are only Taveran, then, I mean, what you're saying is absolutely 100% true. I understand why you have issue with it. Take issue with it. Have issues.
Swan saw
know what I mean?
Rand on the wall? Swan wasn't there in...
Yeah, that procession that brought in Logain. Or Tame. One of the two.
Swan saw him too?
Yes, and then later said, yeah, I saw you on the wall and you were glowing like a motherfucker.
Okay. What Elida saw him. I'm thinking of King.
I always thought that was because he could wield the power, like he could channel. So I thought that's why he was glowing and why she saw that in him. I did not realize that that was Taveranness.
Yeah, Lyda has the foretelling, and so when she saw Rand, she said, "Oh, this man's gonna bring about the."
It'd be great. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm convoluting those things.
Yeah. Anything else in this chapter? Would you, Carrie, talk to me, girl?
Well, I mean, I was thinking about what Josh said, and he always makes my brain hurt.
We love it, right? We love
in a good way, like a deep massage.
If the
Yeah,
girls,
like a teeth cleaning.
if the girls are not technically Taveran, I still feel like they're important in some capacity. I feel like
absolutely.
Maybe they're fulfilling prophecies, but they're not technically Taveran. Does that come into play at all? Like,
I like that question.
Egwene has foretelling. Egwene has foretelling.
There it is, yeah.
But she's kind of like in the mix of all that. Like, I mean, or are they Taveran adjacent? Like, I don't know. But Egwene is important. We know she's. I mean, my love for Egwene has grown exponentially in the last 2 books at least.
For sure.
Compared to the earlier books.
How about Elaine?
I don't think that. Just to be clear,
oh God, no.
Just to be clear, whether or not they're Taveran doesn't affect how much we love them or that they're important.
Is there prophecy for
the
Egwene?
details of why they are important?
The three boys have prophecy around them, and so I guess that would mean they have that describes their Taveranness, or at least it would make sense. Is there prophecy with Egwene at all that we know of?
More like just a foretelling stuff. Like she knew the Sunshine were going to attack the tower. Okay, so here's my silly question comment.
What?
Why does the White Tower not have some type of contingency plan or something? Like, don't they have like drills on a monthly basis? Like, what happens if our tower gets attacked? Like,
they think they're invincible.
Don't you have fire drills? Don't you have bail fire drills? You assholes.
She knew to get more powerful Angreal and all that stuff. Like, she was the only one that had a plan. Everybody else was like fighting in these little small groups, didn't know what to do.
No, and they're wholly dependent. Yeah, and they're wholly dependent on leadership, which was absent from Elida. Obviously, she was all up in her head, like wanting to beat her servant.
We should keep in mind that this was a very unorthodox way of fighting. There is no air force or jets in this world. Everything is a ground force.
They didn't even know these Tolrakans existed.
Yeah,
Oh
they-
my
I think Carrie's point is why isn't there, or why aren't they more prepared for like an inevitable like Trollocs attack?
Because they saw themselves as invincible. I don't think that they ever thought themselves vulnerable to an attack. I think they misrepresented themselves in their own minds as an invincible force because they had their fingers on every quote power by having all the kings and queens of the land under their thumb. But the Shanshan are not of this land. Therefore, they're an outlier.
Well,
right?
to my point as well, any invasion on Tar-Valon is a ground force invasion, and they would know about it. They would be able to plan.
Right. They think that the city is impenetrable, right, Dan?
This thing happened. Yeah, this thing just happened, and they did not have an emergency plan.
Right.
They never thought they would be up against an enemy that could also use the power.
Correct. They're the ones that have the
monopoly. The only
monopoly.
ones that had power. They were dominant over everybody.
Yeah.
Also,
Well, no wonder
did
they
you
tried to
notice that
repress all the
Egwene
male
has-
travelers. Oh, sorry, Kay. Go
it's
ahead.
okay. I'm just making a joke. Did you notice Egwene has a forehead like mine? What?
It's gorgeous.
That's a good.
That's a strong forehead, Joe. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
I feel represented.
It's for you.
All right.
Me and my people.
That's that. I love that. Isle Royale Roof Mistress. Well, wasn't the Black Aja there long enough to mess it all up? So
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's plenty of reasons.
that's another kink in the armor.
Oh, Black Aja.
Let's move to chapter 41, shall we? This is Gawain on a boat.
I'm on the boat.
Actually, it's
sounds
about
like a
13 boats,
Oh.
and
Wait.
there's.
Ted, stay in character, please.
What, me?
He's on a boat, bitch. Don't you ever forget? Is that what
It's just Gawain. Like, yeah, like, you're
Gawain's like, I'm gonna take a T-Pain.
All right, so I went crazy with my interpretations of Taishars. I was getting a little frustrated, so I got a lot. You guys go. You guys
You
can
do?
choose. You
Wait,
guys
wait,
can
wait.
choose.
Do we need to talk to your wife, Dan? Your
Yeah, all right, hold on.
Is she ruining the show, Dan?
Quote, a cleft, almost impossible to spot even from this close at hand.
What?
What?
Quote,
No.
quote, a very narrow tunnel.
Okay.
Quote, ribboned on the sides.
What?
Quote, a dozen holes big enough.
Oh,
Oh.
Quote,
okay.
tighter than a tick. Quote, holes and gashes.
Oh my god. Gross.
All right, so
Wow.
all right, so these
Wow.
13 boats are
Getting desperate.
are going up to
Fucking
the tower.
Sanderson.
we lost Josh.
No, yeah, no.
I think it was around gashes.
I think those all deserve just one drink. I'll take one drink.
Is that all you're taking?
Yeah.
Fine.
You can tell-
you just
you can
brought
tell
the
it's
worst
bad
out in the
when-
chat. I
when-
can't
when
put.
Kay is
anything.
like,
So they all like sneak in. There's like a little. This must have been for the workers. Union folk, right? They're so lazy they built their own staircase, right? I don't know. That's probably what Swan was thinking. She's yeah. Anyways,
I missed him. Sorry, Dan.
they get up to the thing, and all the soldiers put on fake uniforms. They put something over them to look like they're part of the Tar-Valon Guard. This is guerrilla warfare, guys. This is what you do. They go. He's like, we need to find Egwene. We'll start at the base, then head down to the basement floors because I'm sure that she's in the dungeons.
All right, Dan, real quick. Hey, Joe, check the private chat.
Yeah.
Oh
Do you
no,
want-
Dale.
Dale, do you want me to order some pizza?
No, he wants to talk. No,
No, he wants a tuna melt.
Oh shit! Gross.
Tuna melt sounds pretty good. All right. It jumps to Saren. Saren, she's in the heart of the battle. She's getting what she's trying to do, the center of operation. She's White Asha. She's all about logic. She's like, logically, we should all meet up. We should have a base. She hears that progress report. Ground floor has at least 47 sisters. They can't find Elida. In comes Captain Chubbane.
Chubmain.
Now that's a drinking obligation.
Captain Chubbane. He's hurt, wounded. He's like, it's but a flesh wound. She's like, get healed. Go get healed. Tower guard's useless in the fight because when they run up, they get blown up by the Shanshin. They just blow them up. She's like, well, shoot from a distance, dummy. Duh. But she says, it says here, Josh, what she didn't mention was how embarrassed she was. The Ajas had spent centuries guiding kings and influencing wars, but now they had proven woefully inadequate in defending it. The Ajas were each fighting this battle independently, and that wasn't the way to do it. Katarine comes in. She's like, how dare they do this? Let's go beat their butts. And she's like, no. Nope. You're not in charge. I am. You're not the boss of me. We're all going to gather out. And then she's like, what's that power? She's like, oh, that's someone doing something up there. They're like, wow, she must be awesome. She must have dreamed this happening.
Nice.
So like,
Well done.
the novice quarters. Egwin. And then cut to Egwin. And Egwin
He went zoinks, Egwin.
Zoinks.
Egwin is literally blowing people like out of the sky.
Being a boss.
It says each faceless Shanshin that Egwin struck down seemed to be Rena in her mind's eye. And she's like, hell yeah. I'm killing Rena. Boom, Rena. Boom, Rena. Boom, Rena. Quote, she must have felled a dozen of the Tolrakan right now. Tolrakan are the big ones. And so everyone, the whole raid is now focusing on Egwin because she's doing the counteroffensive. But it says she was a fount of power, drawn from deep within the fluted rod in her hand. She was part of the fires that burned. Egwin defended herself and each woman in the tower. She would make the Shanshin withdraw. This raid had to cost them. And then boom, to Gareth. Gareth Bryn. Gareth almost gets crushed by a falling Tolrakan. What do you know? Smells like pork. I bet.
Delish.
Gareth. That's so
there you go,
good.
Ryan.
I love that.
Thank you.
Nice.
Gareth dispatched both Shanshin with one fluid motion. Was that Lotus closes its blossom? Holy moly!
Drink.
Brian had never seen it used so effectively. And it says Gawain wiped his weapon as part of the traditional finishing flourish, which is so awesome. It's called Lotus Closes Its Blossoms. He kills two people, and part of the sword form is him wiping the sword on his dead foes. Awesome.
Yeah.
Guys, awesome.
What a flourish.
Brent is like, boing, battle boner. He's like, look at him sheathe. Oh, and then he kicks Bryn's fallen sword up in the air and snatches it. So he kills these two dudes, wipes his thing, gets Gareth Bryn's sword, kicks it in the air, catches it, and like tosses it. He's like, there you go. Rad.
That was awesome.
What does he wipe, Dan?
What's that?
What does he wipe? He wipes the what?
He wipes his sword.
He wipes his thing.
He wipes his thing.
Yeah, right.
Well, speaking of Taishar, quote, a great deal of activity. Wait, quote, a great deal of activity near a hole.
Oh my god. So many holes.
A great deal of activity near a hole. That's what I consider my sex life to be. Well, you know, it's a great deal of activity near a hole.
I had fun.
So, Gareth Brent, Gareth is kind of a cold-hearted little dude here.
Dude, that's what. That's it, dude.
He's like, all right, well, first and second squads, gather the wounded. Those who can walk should go to the boats. Those who can't just need to wait for Aes Sedai to heal them. Keep in mind, this thing, they didn't bring Aes Sedai with them. They only brought Swan. And he wasn't talking about Swan. He's like, well, you know, maybe the tower people will heal them, but sucks. I know, sucks. It says, quote, some men would die from their wounds while they waited. There was nothing to do about it. Hopefully, most would be healed by the White Tower, Aes Sedai. That healing would be followed by imprisonment. But there was no other choice. They're going to go find Egwene. It's like they find out that she was released from her cells. She's went to the novice quarters. They're like, all right, well, we're gonna go rescue her. And she's like, I want to go too with the real Amerlin. Most of us all want to go too, right, girls? Well, if they were here, they'd say yes. And then Swan's like, well, hold on, I'm gonna heal those dudes. And it says, quote, if Swan wanted to heal the soldiers, then it was her decision. You just hope that their 3 lives do not end up costing the lives of the Amerlin. Cold-hearted, man. He didn't even ask her. He's like, hey, you know, they're kind of hurt. Nothing.
Yep.
Nothing. Anyways.
Anyway.
All right, I have a Taishar.
Please.
If you hadn't come tonight, I would have died.
I did this. It's such a stretch, though. Taishar, quote, flames flickered inside.
Nah.
Nah, I'm not even. No, I know. So yeah, she's like, oh god. So suddenly there was the sky in all black. And Gareth Bryn does his own sword form, the Black Lance's last strike. Right into the neck of the dude. He puts his hand on Gareth Bryn's arm and goes, Wrath of Dharma. And dies. And Swan's like, Jesus Christ. It's like, but she heals him, and he has a low poison pin in his hand.
Dun dun dun.
Mid's prophecy may or may not have been fulfilled. What do you guys think? Was this the fulfilling of Mid's prophecy? Was this tying that knot?
It is.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I think so.
All right. Loose end.
Absolutely.
And then that's it. Gareth Bryn's like, well, I don't even know if this counts because I wasn't even supposed to be here. And she's like, fuck it. You're alive, I'm alive.
Yeah, don't logic.
I wasn't even supposed to be here today.
Right. Right. Total Clerks. You stole it from Clerks. It was like Dante.
Have the day off.
I was supposed to have the day off today. I wasn't even supposed to be here. And then it's Egwene. Egwene's on a pile of rubble. She's like, oh, here it says, Egwene closed her eyes and lay back. Taishar.
Yep.
Resting against fragments of a wall. the Shanshin were gone, says she'd fought. She'd been glorious and destructive. The armament of judgment and fury. Green Aja to the core. And then she's like, she just needed a rest for a little while. Oh, martyr. Oh, I was Green Aja to the core. I dreamed this, guys. I just need a rest. And then she wakes up and Gawain is picking her up. He's like, they just left her in the hallway. Those barbarians. They're like, all right, let's just take her. And she's like, she wants to say, no. Quote, I was a burning warrior, a hero called by the horn. They won't dare face me again. I destroyed them. But she doesn't say anything. Swan's like, ha! What's that? Like, Egwin, where'd you get that? That's a super awesome terangrial.
No, she says, ho!
Ho! Ho!
Drink.
Ho!
She says, ho! Where'd you get that light?
She's like, oh, with this awesome thing, I can totally make a gateway. And they make a gateway, and she's like, I'm winning. Don't you see? If I offer leadership now, when the rebels get cleared, they'll see me as Hammerman for certain. I have to stay. I have to do. And Gawain carries her to safety. And then back to Sauron. Sauron's back in command headquarters.
Really quick.
Yes.
When you were talking about that line that she was thinking, I was a burning warrior, a hero called by the horn. I was like, is this some type of foreshadowing or something? Like, what the hell is this? Like, why is she talking about being a hero of the horn? Anybody else catch up on that?
Totally. No, but that totally sounds like that's what it's doing.
So follow that train. What do you think?
I don't know, but I thought it was interesting to note.
It is interesting to know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously everybody's going to say Rapho, but
Also, Carrie, never start your thoughts with real quick. Just let us, just talk.
Okay, I mean, I'm going to put a theory out there.
Read and fuck off.
So, could this be Ilyana? So, Rand and Egwin were supposed to be married.
Mm-hmm.
We know Rand has Luz Theron in his head.
Mm-hmm.
Egwin, I mean, I don't know what show it was that I said this before, but it's been possible that Egwin was Ilyana the whole book.
Have we seen? Has Luz Theron seen Egwin?
I don't.
Ooh.
Think so.
Oh shit! Good question.
I don't believe so. I think they've been separated long enough that. Well, maybe in the world of dreams. Wait, so was the last time Egwin saw Rand when, like, in book 5?
Yeah.
Is Luz Theron in the world of dreams with Rand? God, I've got all the great questions tonight.
It's a good question, Ryan. I mean, we know that the heroes, when they're in stasis and not reincarnated, like, what's her fucking name?
Blind Fool says that Egwin during Shadow Rising and in Fires of Heaven.
Okay. So it has each other.
So we don't know if maybe. So
well, he was showing up, but were they interacting? I think it's Josh's point.
Egwin and Kyrian after. So yeah. Oh, what? Nope.
Yeah, the question is enough for Luz to be like, oh shit.
Right.
Right. But then also, is he even paying attention during those times too? Because in this chapter, he was like telling him like, oh my gosh, like just go back to your crying, dude, in my head.
Yeah, he's like, just go cry in a corner,
you know, baby. So like
he's there, but he's like in the back seat.
Yeah, he's
Is that
like
what you're
faced
saying?
the
Okay.
other way. He's like not paying attention, kind
Right.
of thing.
But
Yeah.
how about this
He's
though? Like,
His
on
face is in the
something
corner
else.
and he's crying. Is he really?
Yeah,
in the
he's
yeah, all
pouting
right,
in
all
the corner, but he hasn't like noticed that
Yeah,
Egwene
okay.
might be Ileana.
right.
all right, how about this though?
Yeah, you
Could
get me, Joe.
like no one can see Luce Theron and Rand,
Right.
so
So
how
would-
would
Would
Luce
he
Theron
recognize
see?
her?
Yeah,
as
like
such? Yeah.
Ileana in Egwene.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, so what if Luce Theron failed to break the wheel because Ilyena died? All right, let's loop this back. So my theory is that Egwene is ultimately the hero of the Wheel of Time.
Okay.
That she is the one doing the work that Rand can't do because he's the figurehead. And then ultimately her sacrifice and hard work will be what leads to the breaking of the wheel.
Okay.
If that's the case, could it be that Luce failed because Ilyena died by his hand?
Right, like she wasn't there to like whatever,
Right.
even to be like what his like reason for.
Reason
Yeah,
for
he's
doing
like
it.
Jiminy Cricket or something. Or
Okay.
Right,
anything.
right. That's
Nice.
a great analogy. I love it.
Jiminy, my love.
Just let your
Wait, wait.
conscience be your guide, and he had no conscience, so he's like fucking.
Josh, did you misspeak when
Yeah.
you said that Egwene would do all the work for Rand to break the wheel?
She does all the hard work that
Okay.
that Rand isn't really doing the work that will lead to the wheel being broken. It's Egwene.
But you think Rand wants to break the wheel?
I think Rand wants to kill the Great Lord, which in turn will break the wheel because it's the balance between the Creator and the Great Lord that causes it to keep turning infinitely.
Okay.
Okay.
I mean, that's my interpretation of the cosmology, not having read the last books, obviously.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
If this is even fucking talked about, which will be super fucking frustrating to me. I'm already prepared to be
I
frustrated.
know, Josh, stop it.
So
Stop pre-preparing yourself for your own theories.
I've been prepared to be
Not true.
frustrated since book 3. It's okay.
He's just preparing to be disappointed because
Yeah, it's just like
Josh's
it's gonna
brain
happen.
needs.
Well, the
like,
author died
explanation.
partway through. Come on, I forgive him. All right.
Yeah.
So let's jump to the Saren point of view. She is still at ground operations center on the ground floor. There's over 20 Aes Sedai are dead. She doesn't know how many are captured. I do have a question. Egwene was justifying killing every Rockin' and Torockin she saw. She saw that
Right.
there were some. They would just tie Aes Sedai up by their ankles and just fly them off. They're dangling while they're like flying away, and she's blowing them up. If she had taken the 3 oaths, would she be able to shoot these things down? The 3 oaths, one of them says that you will not use the one power as a weapon unless in the defense of your life, the life of your warder, or the last possible kind of thing. Or another sister. I guess that would be
No, I think that's
another
that
sister,
was
but
it, the
you're,
last
Like
possible
this
kind of thing.
Qualifies under that.
But
though,
you're
yeah.
blowing
That's
up.
number 3, the
Self-defense.
last possible kind of thing.
Well, to protect your sister or something, like, is that part of it? Or?
Yeah, she was like, well, they're better off dead.
She knows the suffering of being college.
That's such a great movie,
Yeah.
Dan.
Better off.
Great movie.
John Cusack's greatest.
Where's my
work.
$2?
$2.
No, but yeah, it's like okay, you could argue that she's like shooting them in the back while they're running away, like a dirty cop,
Like
or
a
you could
dirty
argue that you cannot predict
Hands
that
up,
Rockin' will not come back and kill you.
Right.
Well,
Right,
but
like, I
that's
mean,
not
like-
in the defense, last possible defense of your life, the life of your sister, your life of your warrior. So, I mean,
It was just you feel threatened. Remember
they
that
were just
battle
going to
with
be
Matt?
captured. They were just
Yeah, I
being
feel like
captured.
the last defense of your life is very loosely interpreted
Worded.
way back in every
Right.
book. Like,
Mhm.
it's very
Yeah.
loose.
I remember this
How
battle with
threatened they
Matt.
feel is very interpretive.
Matt had
she
some
was-
Aes Sedai. Hold on, Matt had some Aes Sedai with him in this battle a while back, and he was like, "Come on, jump in the battle, jump in the battle." And she's like, I don't really feel threatened yet.
I'm
And
not
also she's
really
like, "Okay,
in
well
fear
now
of
I
my
do."
Yeah.
life.
And it seems so flippant.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had to believe it, but she was killing these sisters. She knew she was killing them. She said, "It's better. They're better off dead. Let's go ahead and do it. Just, I'm gonna kill them all." Like God
What do we
sorted
think of
it
this
out.
decision? What do we think of this decision?
Okay, she mentioned somewhere in one of these chapters, she must do what must be done. Isn't that the same thing Rand said?
It is, yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
Sanderson likes these tie-ins.
Yeah, being collared is worse than death. So killing them instead of getting collared does appear to be in defense of them, and she does believe that wholeheartedly. So yeah, I mean, but this isn't. But a Noma Garden, it's not
That's
an immediate threat.
That's a good point, Newman Garden.
You can't just blow up things because of a potential threat. It
I
has
don't
to be
understand
immediate.
how the White Tower is being attacked. They tried. I mean, like, I'm sure women are dying. They're not all being captured. We find out that women died.
There was
Like,
20.
Yeah, there's no way to look at this and be like, oh, they're not threatened in any way. I think
Right, but Dan's point
I've
is
seen
like
I
she's
feel like
striking
we've seen
down
worse.
Rockin' as they flee with prisoners.
Yeah, but you don't know if they're going to come back.
Yeah,
It's like, the drone missed me this one time. I'm going to let it go because it's going away from me. No, it can turn around and get you.
It's heading back. It's heading back. Right?
Just one at a time.
Totally fine.
They can't pick
Just
up
because
two.
there's still missiles on it doesn't mean I'm in danger.
Is it a lateral
I don't know.
damage?
What do you guys think about that?
It says,
Eric.
perhaps she should have feared breaking the 3 oaths, but she did not. This was a fight that needed to be fought, and she did not lust for death, although perhaps her rage against the Soldam approached it. The soldiers in Soldam were unfortunate casualties.
Well,
That sure
that
seems
first
to indicate-
question. Yeah,
That sure
I'm sorry.
seems to indicate that she herself thinks that it might break the 3 O's.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Right.
Just
It
in
says-
that sentence.
She says they were all in danger, a danger greater than death. Those silvery collars were far worse. Egwene defended herself and each woman in the tower. She would make the Shansha withdraw.
So I get, yeah. If other Aes Sedai are battling back, do you think they're like fucking fireballs are not coming out, like
Well,
because they are
Dan's
held to the
question
oath?
is that if Egwene had taken the 3 oaths, would she be able to do?
Yeah.
what she did?
So to that
Right.
point, there's many women with the 3 O's, or were they all not able to fight back?
Right, but they're not shooting rocket out of the sky with like collared
Sisters
women.
on them.
Yeah.
They're flying away, not attacking her.
No,
Right.
yeah. I'm just saying, we're just assuming it was only Egwene shooting, no one else is trying to fight back?
I don't think no one else is
So
trying
why
to
does
fight
that
back.
matter?
But I
Well,
think Egwene might be the only one
Oh.
shooting rocket out of the sky that are
That
are on their way out.
Sky.
Okay.
Yeah.
And she was in a
I
circle,
mean, I
and
don't
she
know.
had a
What do
terrain
you guys
buff.
think?
She was huge. It
Well,
says her
Dale's
ang-
got a good
oh,
point. He says that it's the belief.
Right.
And belief is the essence of it,
Mhm.
right? If she was
Right.
held to the oath and believed that, then I guess she wouldn't be.
Well, and if she thinks she's in danger,
Yeah,
though,
but,
then like
I mean,
she believes that too, and that allows her
it's
to,
such a
like
fucking
regardless, it
wishy-
would have allowed her to.
Well, that's the point of that
Like that.
oath. It's that it's like
She's
it's-
not under it,
it's
That's
though.
such
tenuous
a
at
fucking
best, you know?
wishy-washy bullshit.
Right, she's not under them,
Yeah.
but like, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, one,
Fuck
she's
it.
not under the
Yeah.
oaths, right? But like to Josh's point, like it's
It would still hold
it's
up.
open to
though.
interpretation from every individual.
Yeah.
So it's
I mean,
like,
I guess that's the
you know.
thing is what is the truthiness of it? Is it about truth
Mhm.
with a capital T or truth with a lowercase t? If belief renders truth with a lowercase t, then sure.
Well, that's
you
how
can
they're
do
able to
anything you
lie the
want
whole
just
story.
because you believe it.
Right.
I'm
Right.
sorry, Josh. Can I get the definition of truth with a capital T, please?
It's-
Truth
it's-
Truth with a
Lowercase
capital T, truth with a lowercase t.
Objective truth
How
that
much
is
information,
collectively
misinformation
agreed upon
is.
and validatable, whereas truth
Mhm.
with a lowercase t is truth that has a subjectivity to it. Like if my
Yeah.
belief
Mhm.
that I'm in danger or that that the world is flat allows me to act on something that the 3 O's would keep me from doing, then I can do anything I want by just having true belief.
Mhm.
That's a bullshit cop out in my experience.
All right, this is a
I
great.
agree. Yeah.
The O's have loopholes so wide you can fly a tow rocket through them.
Yeah.
That's
stupid. I mean, it may be true, and
Oops,
again,
or
as an
holes.
honest rendering as a literary interpretation, but God, it just feels so stupid.
Ryan, there was one more Egwene patting herself on the back here. It says, quote, her anger was not out of control. It was cold and distilled. The tower was burning. She had foretold this. She had dreamed it, but the reality was far worse than she had feared.
Wow.
I agree it's string time.
So yeah,
Egwene threw her back out trying to perform fellatio on herself right there.
Right now.
With the capital T truth, there's probably like 5, you count them on your hands, on your fingers, the number of capital T truths are in the world.
I mean, I think all truths are lowercase t truths. It's just a matter of
There's not one?
whether the 3 O's actually are evaluating belief.
I mean, if you believe that they're binding in any way, then clearly the lowercase t truth isn't applicable.
I mean, I think that
and she's able to do this because she hasn't sworn the oaths.
Okay, it's an uppercase. There's an uppercase truth that Carrie's not wearing pants and Josh wears beanies. Like, I mean, like how far do you want to take this?
That's an uppercase truth for sure.
Josh, I hope our friendship is uppercase.
It's always it's a capital.
No,
F.
Dan, there are no uppercase truths.
Not Josh.
It doesn't have to be true.
Well,
It's
you know what? This is not true. So, what does Trump do? He posts truths, and they're usually in capitals.
Truth Social with a capital.
Truth Social, yeah. He that's what they're called.
But he's not.
Tweets. They're called truths.
I'm truthing all over your face right now.
So there's Seren. Serene's like, all right. So what's the issue? We got 20 dead.
That's right.
Damage and casualties. Where's Elida? Gosh, we need some leadership.
Direction, yeah.
It says that 10 Shanshan channelers were captured and over 30 rocket blown out of the air from Egwene's group of over 60. Only 3 novices died there. Yeah, was that 5%? Ain't bad.
Seems fine.
Yeah, it's negligible, right? You only lose 3 novices, not even real soldiers. Like, that's amazing. And then finally, there's Elida. Elida wakes up being carried on a rocket.
I'll trade you 5 novices for 1 accepted.
we can't call her Elida anymore. Her name is Sufa. She lives on the 2nd floor.
Oh, Sufa.
Oh my gosh, this part was like, perfect.
Yeah.
So okay, so yes,
Sweet
you felt joyful satisfaction with this.
I wonder if there's a word for that. Enjoying someone else's pain. I wonder if there's like a perfect word for that.
Josh, is there a word for it?
Joggin Morganin.
No. Try again.
Ryan Freud?
Ryan Freud.
It's Ryan Freuden.
Ryan Freuden.
Oh man, this part was badass though.
Yeah, I mean, when I was trying to predict what was going to happen to Elida, I think this is one of my predictions. I said something like, how would Egwene over, like, what would happen to Elida? I'm like, would she ever get taken by the Sanchen? And oh my god, beautiful.
Okay, so Elida was not inherently evil. She was not part of the Black Aja. She
Hang on.
Those
two things are not the same. You can be inherently evil and not be a Black Aja.
Well, she didn't join the evil group, I guess. She wasn't officially committed to the Great Lake.
All the more reason that she's a piece of shit.
She's a major.
Completely agree, Josh.
I was gonna say the same thing. She
was a narcissist,
but she's just a super piece of shit.
Put herself on a pedestal.
She thought that she was doing right. A Tarmogeddon's coming, man. What are you gonna do? You have this wild.
You're gonna build yourself a second tower palace.
You want a big second tower palace that's a little bit taller than the last.
Just a little bit taller.
Hey, brother Dan, Matt Stagger sent me this in Discord. He said this is for the first time readers.
What is
it?
Oh, I love it.
It's Break the Wheel.
Break the wheel.
Break the Wii.
Break
Break the Wii. Break the Wii. I like that. Our first time readers are they all do want the wheel to break.
Mm-hmm.
I know. I don't know.
I'm just suffering.
So you're
I-
fine. So she just kept screaming on out into the uncaring night.
Break the Wii.
You
Okay,
guys are the uncaring
question.
night, huh?
Will we ever see Elida again, or is this it?
Yeah. You tell me.
Mm.
Is someone going to be sitting on the sofa?
I mean, if
No,
we
I
never
think
see
we're
her
gonna
again,
see
I'm
her.
fine.
I think we see her again in the last battle as a
Collared?
Shanshin on.
Oh.
Oh,
Like
shit.
a
Oh, this is
powerful
funny.
Shantan.
That would be
Bye.
fitting.
Bye, Felicia.
Bye, Felicia.
Nice.
Into screaming
chat.
into the uncaring night. Hey,
Do we see Elida
that was
again?
sad.
Oh yeah, I think
No,
so.
I didn't shed a tear over this. I'm sorry.
You
No.
weren't bummed?
I was
This did not
happy.
make me
Like,
feel like
it
I had
was
emotion.
so good.
Oh, and then when she made like the pain go 10 times harder, I was like, oh, my joy went 10 times
I know.
larger. I was swollen with so much.
Your
swole.
Grinch heart grew
No.
3
Some
No.
word I can't remember.
Guys, aren't we supposed to say that no one deserves this fate?
Josh equals the uncaring knight.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Josh is the uncaring knight.
Karma is a bitch.
Karma's
Okay.
a bitch.
No, but
Okay.
this is awful. She's like vomiting over the side of the thing, and I don't care what you do. Not what
I see
you do,
Egwin down there just
I
being
just-
like the
this is
vomit
just
falling on her.
horrible.
She's like,
Yeah, oh yeah. Is that a bird? Did I get shot down by a bird?
Do you guys
Oh,
feel
wait,
bad
Kate-
for her
no,
in
no,
any way,
Kate.
shape, or form?
No.
say that again, Joe.
Do you feel bad for her in any way?
Hmm.
Like in any?
No.
No.
Nope. Zero.
All right.
Okay. All right.
I mean,
I
okay.
do. I don't ever think like punishment like that. It's like a
I
good
mean,
thing.
maybe
Like,
I
no
have
one
a little
deserves
respect
that,
for
period.
her because
Yeah.
she's not
yeah, period.
respect, but
The
All right, and this is the
IRL
day-
roof mistress.
Thanks
Yeah.
for making us all feel bad.
So let's not
Jeez.
forget that Pat and Fane did touch her.
Yeah.
Oh well,
So
then
maybe it's
yeah,
like not just her.
it's not her fault. She's just
You
fucked.
callous fuckers. Just
Seriously,
Just
it's really
tainted with
sad.
evil.
Like I don't know. She's
Is there?
just-
I mean,
wouldn't
is
want this to
is
happen.
Elida gonna get saved?
I don't think of that one.
I hope not.
I
Is
hope
that gonna be
so.
the redemption arc?
I,
Like,
I hope not.
That would be really nice. That would be a really cool redemption arc.
Maybe
we're
we
not
should
gonna
focus
lie.
on the
get
other
saved
characters
and
now.
realize the error of your ways through your
As long
trauma
as she
and
ends
pain
up
and
calling
stuff.
Egwin mother, it's all worth it.
As long as she calls me daddy, she
Yeah.
can be
yeah, yeah,
she can be saved as long as she bows down.
right, yeah.
Okay.
As
I mean,
long
she
as
needs
you
to
call
notice that the
Egwin
grindstone-
Where
mommy,
you're at, Josh.
then
No
yeah.
better way to have your nose put to the grindstone than to have it be colored by the fucking Shanshin.
Honestly,
Yeah, okay.
I mean, Egwene was kind of a bitch before that happened, huh? No, I know you all love Egwene, but she was kind of
Yeah.
bitchy
She
and
was
very
kind
young,
of
and
a
then she
bitch,
grew
huh?
up really fast.
Now she's
after
the hero of the
she
horn. Just ask her.
collared, and now she's just like super sacrificing all of
Just ask her.
Yeah, just ask her. Now she's really
I
smart.
was
and can
fucking
remember.
rad.
Just ask her how cool she is. She'll tell you all about it.
I had the greatest battle ever. It was huge.
It was huge.
You should have
So many
seen how big
Draken.
this thing was I took.
They
Right.
cried like
I-
dogs.
I respect.
I
you,
said,
Mr.
"Don't
Spoiler."
cry, don't cry like a dog." But we watched them cry. Grown men were crying, right?
So much crying,
So
but
much
not
crying.
Josh. But not Josh.
Robots don't
Yeah,
cry.
I
Ryan.
cried. I cried these chapters, Ryan.
You didn't cry.
I even talked about it.
No,
You
you
felt-
said no. You
like,
just
you
said
felt
earlier.
the need.
You felt like I was gonna cry.
almost
I almost cried.
Okay.
It tugged
I-
my
felt the need,
heartstrings,
Josh.
I believe was the quote.
I'll almost cry
I
at your
felt the
funeral.
tear well up, and I smashed it down like I would.
Yeah, you
Sucked
crushed
it
it
back
down.
up.
Crushed it down.
Yeah,
Where
like
do
a
you think
man.
you're
Inside.
going?
Where do you think you're going?
Hey, look, we have to let emotions flow through us. Okay,
Get
we
over
don't
here.
wallow in them.
Right, you don't let it out and like emote. You just smash it down deep, where none of it can come out. Right? It's not
When
gonna
it came
end
out, it
badly
came out
for
just
you.
like this.
Don't cry.
Like a
No, no.
goldfish.
No, your beanie just starts getting wet.
Justin up normal. He's like, why am I sweating so much?
So
That's
much
just you
sweat.
tear ducts.
What is
So much
that?
sweat in winter. All right, so chapter 42 is a Rand point of view. It is called Before the Stone of Tear.
There's more
chapters?
Oh,
The last one. This one's kind of, this is Rand's being
this is kind of a
existential.
chapter for me.
He is arguing with Luce Theron. Luce Theron is mad about that the list isn't complete. He's like, we don't know what chicks we burned in the palace. Our list is wrong. This is classic OCD behavior. I understand this. He's like, oh gosh, I need to be completist. Rand's like, it's not even your list. He's like, it's my list. What are you talking about? It's my list. Who are you? They're battling over it. Rand starts whispering to himself. Min's like, Rand, you're going cuckoo. He's like, oh no, I'm fine. Chill. But he's leaving Eridomon. In ruins. They don't have enough of the council to hire a new king. They know that the Shanchins are going to come in here in a week and just take them all over. Rand's like, well, okay, I brought food, but guess what? Refugees heard about all the free food and they all showed up, so there's like way more people there. So he's like, well, okay, this is shit. I wanted to do better. But okay, we're going to leave. And he kind of just wanted to just Irish goodbye. He just wanted to leave from the manor and just, but he's like, well, no, it says here, quote, he would at least let the people see that he was leaving and know that they had been left to themselves. So he goes out there with his little entourage and he hears, Lord Dragon! He's like, yes? It's like, all the food's fucking gone, ruined, rotted. It turned bad. He's like, what? Like, all the food? He's like, yeah, all the food. All the food. Quote, hundreds upon hundreds of barrels. It happened suddenly in the blink of an eye. One moment it was good, the next moment, my lord, so many people have come to the city because they heard we had food. Now we have nothing. What will we do? Rand says the name's Paul. That's between y'all. Actually, he doesn't say shit. He just fucks on out. He closes his eyes like, oh, and he just leaves. Just like that. He didn't even open his eyes. He went, oh.
Turns around.
Clop.
Oh, God.
It says, there's nothing more Rand could do, nothing more he would do. It said he had opened his eyes and kicked Taishadar into motion. He left the Dockmaster behind, mouth open. And he's in Tyr. He's like, isn't Tyr nice? Fuck Eridoman, right? I hate that place. How about Tyr?
On to the next place.
And the
I can open my
crowds
eyes
are
again. Oh, good.
the crowds are going crazy. There's so many people that heard Rand showing up, and the crowds are like, yeah.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh yeah, I just left like a boring, stupid crowd. I like this crowd. Yeah, baby, yeah.
He starts high-fiving, running down the line.
He's like going over the people in the back. I can't hear you.
Louder.
That's like an entrance to a WWF match.
He rips off his shirt. Oh, I just ripped. Oh!
You broke your dress?
No, it's Velcro. I thought I ripped it, but it was
Okay.
Velcro.
Okay.
I heard a rip and I went, oh no. Well, you know me, Gene. All the little Hulkamaniacs in tear. Let me hear you. The stone.
Are you doing? Is he doing this?
Yeah. He's cranking it up.
It helps to put your hand in front of your ear to hear better, Dan.
Well, Ryan, I can't hear you because my hand was in front of my ear. That's what I was saying.
I can't hear that insult.
I won't hear you.
You got.
I refuse to hear you. Okay, so he's like, he shows up. There's a couple people there. Who's there? Dobrain. We got our boy Dobrain. Bum, bum, bum. We got Darlin. He was the High Lord. Now he's the king. They called him Pale-Faced Dobrain. And who else? There's, unfortunately,
I can't even.
and the Rooster Weirmon. It's like, unfortunately, the
Get back
Rooster
over here.
Weirmon was there.
Dobrain. It's just the worst.
It turns out that Loose Theron likes Weirmon.
Why not?
Yeah.
What's not to like?
I like him.
I thought that was funny.
I like
know.
him. He's like, you don't like
You don't
anyone.
like anyone.
He likes it.
It's like, oh my god, please just go back into your corner and cry
Weirmon.
about your wife for fuck's
Weirmon
sake.
is like life cereal. Hey, Luz, he likes it.
Hey, Liz, I think he likes it.
Darlin is like, yeah, the army's ready. We're ready to go to Eridomon. He's like, Rand's like, yeah, that's cute, but I hate that place now. So here's the deal. We're just gonna go to Tarmogoyf now. And that's how it ends. He's like, you're coming with me. He's like, of course. Where are we going?
Of course I'm coming.
Shayogul. And that's where it ends. So what did you want to talk about in this chapter? Or any of
What
it?
does a lumpy face indicate to you guys?
Right, a lumpy face.
Yeah, I don't. What
Like someone has the mumps or got stung
That's a
by a
lumpy
bee.
face right there.
is this? This is the lumpy face.
No
That's a Dobrain. Dobrain, bad head, bread
I
head.
want to talk about.
Redhead.
I want to talk about Rand and how he feels like a failure now. I mean, for the first time, he feels like a failure. Like the food's spoiled. He can't help the people. He's kind of like shutting them off. Like he's just his humanity keeps going from him, and it's just, oh my god, like.
Yeah, but do you think he
I don't
feels
know.
badly about the food spoiling?
Oh.
I mean, he kind of just ran away. I mean, he didn't really.
Yeah, he kind of just didn't deal with it at all, though. You know, and he's just like, okay, this is just.
He
becoming,
felt like an
too
idiot
much.
because he had all these people go there, all these refugees are there, and then suddenly they're there, and he promised them food and he can't deliver. So what's going to happen?
You know,
Yeah, but
I-
I'm asking,
hey,
like, did he feel like an idiot? I don't know that he really felt that like badly about it at all.
I kind of understand having planned a trip. You plan a trip. You're like, all right, we got a sitter for the dog. We got we don't have insurance on the cars for that month. We're gone the month, and then someone at the last second says, "Oh, hey, our whole country's gonna be without food." You're like, "Oh, I'm at TSA. I can't really. I gotta go. Oh, bye."
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I don't work in the cafeteria, so maybe you want to ask their manager.
The name's
Yeah.
called this studio.
Rand pulled a Kramer.
Kramer
He just bounced. Whoop.
just bounces.
Jerry, I gotta go. So yeah,
He's got to
Miranda,
start Kramerica.
what do we think? Is he right? Is Eridomon going to be subsumed by the Shanshin?
I don't know. I mean, he even though okay, maybe he doesn't feel. What was the word that you said earlier? But he did say here he doesn't deserve such praise, not after what he done in our demand. So like he still acknowledges that he did something wrong, but does he feel
Yeah.
like a
But he
failure?
didn't do
I mean,
anything wrong. It's not his fault the food's spoiled.
yeah.
He's literally
feels
choosing to
responsible
go
for
to
the people.
Tarmogoyf right now.
No,
because of
I
it.
get.
He's
I get
carrying
that-
the burden by sacrificing himself, right?
If he
No,
felt he had
yes.
more time, would he have tried to fix Airdoman, or was Airdoman just too much?
Unfixable?
Did he just have to leave it regardless?
Oh yeah, no, I agree with Roof Mistress. She's saying that he was overwhelmed. That's what I got from it. Anyways, was that he was just like overwhelmed with
he's
it.
taken.
and
He has
done.
too much
He's
on
just
his
over
plate
it.
right now.
Yeah,
I mean,
on to
Well,
the
me
next
down.
problem. You know.
How
Yeah.
long has it been since we saw that cute little innocent sheep herder boy who's now like ruling all these nations and stuff and traveling from place to place? I mean, like his evolution is like so crazy.
Will Rand go back to the Two Rivers?
Lumpy face. Okay, I get it. Popeye.
I don't think so.
That makes sense.
So I mean, someone suggested Popeye.
It's from the war.
I like it. That makes
I'm
sense.
going on. Next is Colin Farrell's Penguin. I don't know. Let me see. What
It's too much raw spinach.
Is that Florin Gelb?
This is what happens from smoking pipes all the time.
Ah,
I got throat cancer.
Yeah,
And a jaw.
I got jaw
BRB.
cancer. It moved right
I
into
got
the
jaw. I got a big jaw.
Was that
Big
Bail
jaw.
Orman's cousin?
That's why I go kick. His dad's name was Pappy.
He has fucking jaw cancer.
I know. No, it's all right.
Oh my god.
Okay, can we make some predictions of what's going to happen next? Like with
Please.
Egwene?
That's all.
So, like,
we've been-
Egwene-
Yeah. Go on.
Egwene doesn't know that Elida got captured.
Nope.
So how is she going to feel? She's going to feel like
Maybe she killed her.
Is
Either
she going
that
to feel
or-
betrayed by Swan and
probably. I mean, she's like,
Goblin?
I told you guys not to rescue me under no circumstances. I mean, why the hell did you rescue me? I told you not to. So she's probably going to feel confused and conflicted, and but yet she accomplished so much, and that's what's frustrating, you know?
Yeah. No, I love the question. That will she ponder whether one of those rockets she shot down was Elida?
I think so. I
And how
also
will
think
she
she's
feel
going to
about
celebrate that she's about to become Egwene. Or Amyrlin.
Yeah.
She's already Egwene.
She's about. How will she feel about becoming Egwene?
Right.
I mean, clearly she's about to be named Amyrlin because
And how would you know
Elida's
that,
not going to be
Josh?
found. She already knows Elida's missing. She's going to become an Amyrlin. Is it going to feel hollow? Or will she feel like she got what she wanted?
Yeah, I was thinking about that too, DK Moon. Like, where the hell is that awesome book that she just received that she could only stare at for a couple hours before she had to like flee and go save the tower? I mean, is the book destroyed or is it still there somewhere? Like, where the hell is the book?
and is she still? Wait, did she get? Isn't she? She's in a different dress when she gets there, but wasn't she? Didn't she leave in the white dress? I'm thinking pockets.
Yeah.
Was it
Yeah,
like-
that's a good point.
But
Did
if
she have
changed
her book
freaking
with her?
clothes and it just is like boom? I don't. Yeah.
Yeah, she never thought
She
about
just-
the book the whole battle.
She just shoved it down her bra real fast and was like,
or is she able to go retrieve it
Maybe.
"Let's go."
later on?
Yeah, I would have put it like when I got the fluted wand. I would have been like, all right, let me put my books down so they don't get
Make
hurt.
sure you keister that real
Mm.
quick, right?
I want to know, is like she going to study the book
That's real
more? Is she going to have access to it again? Is she going to learn more stuff that we previously talked about? Like, I
Yeah.
love all that scholarly type.
Or will
Stuff
she have to just go
we're
off of
doing.
memory and like what she remembered from the few minutes that she had with the book?
Is she going to go hunt the Black Aja more than she ever had before?
Look at her
Or is she going to
magically
like
appear.
lay low and
I
not
think
know
she's
that she
about
knows
to have
that
all of
who
them
they are?
executed, captured and executed.
Yeah,
Is she gonna bone Gawain?
for sure.
What
in the
about Sean
bath.
and Bren?
As a tribute to Elaine.
But if Brandon Sanderson writes it, they just neck for a long time.
Yeah,
They hold
Off-screen
hands.
romance.
with zero Tyshar moment.
I mean, there's no Tyshar with Brandon.
Oh no, they
And
soak.
then they
right?
held
Right?
hands real
Is this
tight.
soaking?
Oh, yeah, they soak. Oh my god.
Okay, things I want to know. When
Do
is
they
Matt
soak?
going to read that letter?
Yes.
And when
Oh,
Mhm.
when are they going to rescue Moraine? God damn it!
I know. Fuck.
Yeah, yeah.
What other?
yeah.
Yeah. What other
I
things
know.
did Varen put into motion?
yeah. I want to know.
Yeah,
That's a
Inquiring
good
minds want
question.
to know.
I mean,
Yeah. What does
Yeah.
Matt's letter
I think the
say?
main thing is
Yeah.
giving Egwene the book is one of the biggest things that she's setting in motion.
Yeah. I want to know why
We're gonna
Joe's
take
drawing
down-
me in real life.
Yeah. No. I zoomed in on it.
Why wouldn't I?
There it is.
Isn't that me, guys?
Is there anything else? It's good to be back, guys. After a 2-week break, I missed
Yeah.
you
And
guys.
these were some mighty fine chapters. It was
Mighty
intense,
fine.
and everybody's talking about the Sander Lanch. Like all my friends, like this is how
What?
Sanderson writes his books. So like it gets
So-
really crazy at the end of the books. Like
This book?
you know, full speed ahead.
Oh,
Yeah.
Like in
okay.
general, when Sanderson writes, that's what they said. So I'm looking forward to more. Like I'm curious what's going to happen in these last couple chapters. So
What was it called? The Sanderson launch?
Sander Lanch, like an avalanche.
Sander Lanch. Oh,
Sanderlanch.
Sanderland.
All right.
For next week, we will be doing another 4 chapters. We're doing the 4-chapter run. Sanderson does pretty well. That's 63 pages. And then the next week, we will be finishing this book. So this is the penultimate. The second
Is
to
he?
last, right?
He's questioning Bella. Is he questioning that Bella exists? Asking who Bella is?
That's up for your interpretation.
Ooh. Huh? Bella? Never heard of her.
Bella? That's a lumpy face. Bella?
It's a lumpy face.
It's a great drawing. You just, oh god, so
Guys,
Yeah,
go out
so
of your way
cool.
this week to do something nice. Like, feel good about yourself. Like, do something and be like, right on. I just did something rad.
I like that.
Yeah.
Before we leave, Joe, your first 2 drawings were stellar, outstanding, emotional
yeah,
weight.
amazing.
Like,
And then after that, it just really went downhill. So
And
then
you know,
I-
pick
and
it
then I
up
don't
at
know.
the end of the show next time.
It's almost like
shit.
the amount
Who's
of
this, your
alcohol I
mailman?
drink versus what I'm drawing matters.
all right, let's talk about
Is
Patreon, Dan.
Is this
Shut up.
a,
I'm just
is this a
kidding. I
second
love your
suet,
drawings
right,
of all
Joe?
of them.
Huh? What?
Is this Vannon? Chow Vannon?
This is the penguin from.
Oh, okay.
Penguin. Somebody said that in the chat.
All right, Dan. So talk about Patreon.
All right, so Patreon, we don't have a day set yet, but Ryan and I love you and have been neglecting you. And so we want to do a game night. We're going to set up a game night. We are going to just get behind the scenes and play either Jackbox or something like that. We're gonna play some games just for you guys. So if you're not a part of our Patreon, you can. But
No,
yeah.
and YouTube membership. And
YouTube
YouTube
membership,
membership. Yeah. So we got Patreon and YouTube membership. And yeah, we're going to select a night, probably on a Friday night, and get together and have some fun. We've been feeling bad about neglecting the Patreon and memberships. So we want to hang out with you guys. So
Yeah.
if you've pondered supporting the channel in any way and you want to get in on some fun games, that will be there for you.
Yeah, we
And
tried it out and it
Moonshadow.
was awesome. So go ahead.
Stay
Oh,
tuned
hey, someone's-
for more on that moon shadow.
That was awesome.
All right, everybody. What a great show. We'll see you next week. We're going to do another 4 chapters. All right, run for your lives. This is
Bye.
The Way to Leave.